The SRIMAD BHAGAVAD GITA in English, narrated by Tavamithram Sarvada. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Foreword. Namaste. The greatest natural tool that a human being is blessed with is his or her mind. To put things into context, we could consider a hypothetical duel between a physically strong person with a weak mind and a physically weak person with a strong mind. In this duel between two contradictory adversaries, the physically weak person with a strong mind would find himself having a huge advantage against the physically strong person with a weak mind. It is simply because a physically strong person would first need to possess a strong mind to even know their own strength, let alone decide to use it. Of what use could the strength of a muscular weightlifter be if they have not realized their own strength? The great mastermind inventors who have contributed so greatly to human society knew that it was their mind that enabled them to make all the phenomenal discoveries that they made. Studying the SRIMAD BHAGAVAD GITA, which I personally call the greatest mind management manual ever, is the best way to understand the advanced and ancient philosophy that it teaches. It is the key to realizing your own potential and divinity. The teachings of Krishna will help you master your mind. Following Krishna's teachings will enable you to always keep your mind calm, composed, and completely under your control. Dogmas of all kinds are out to enslave you through your mind. They will make sure that you lose the will and the ability to ask questions and also to think for yourself. Shun mental slavery and keep what is yours under your control. Your mind and soul are not for sale, and they shall never be so. By keeping your mind under your control, you will be able to use it to the fullest and furthermore live a satisfying and fulfilling life. All this will greatly contribute towards your karmic progress. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought of the fact that all your countless ancestors were the ones who shaped who you are today? It is going to be the same case with your descendants too. They will be the outcome of your thoughts, words, and deeds. Remember that your deeds and even the most ephemeral thoughts of yours cause you to create and collect karma every moment of your life. Good karma is generally more desirable, and therefore it would be advisable to take an effort to steer yourself onto the right path in order to guarantee you a comfortable and rewarding stay on the planet, apart from ensuring that you do great in the process of your personal karmic evolution. May peace reign in your heart, mind and soul. Introduction. The SRIMAD BHAGAVAD GITA, the living book, is one of the greatest divine gifts to mankind. It is an endless source of guidance, motivation, energy and power for everyone, anytime, anywhere, in all situations, and forever. The SRIMAD BHAGAVAD GITA is a transcript of the dialogue between Sri Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna at the battlefield of Kurukshetra, as reported to King Dhritarashtra by his charioteer Sanjaya. Many millennia ago, two rival families, namely the Pandavas and the Kauravas, fought the epic battle of Mahabharata. Duryodhana, who led the Kauravas, was the evil, greedy and cunning cousin of the Pandavas. He aspired to take over the Pandavas' share of the kingdom. It was the 10th day after the great battle of Mahabharata had begun. The blind king Dhritarashtra received the news about the fall of grandsire Bhishma. It shocked him because he never expected the Pandavas to be of any match for the powerful army of his son Duryodhana. He wanted to know what was going on at the battlefield. Dhritarashtra asked Sanjaya to use his power of Divya Drishti, or the ability of remote viewing, and narrate to him what had happened and was happening at the battlefield. Sanjaya narrated to Dhritarashtra all that took place at Kurukshetra and the entire conversation between Sri Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna. Both the armies had gathered at the battlefield in the holy plains of Kurukshetra. There were brave and powerful warriors lined up on either side. The entire area was covered with chariots, horses, elephants, soldiers, weapons, and tents. Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna arrived on a beautiful and glorious chariot drawn by white horses. Bhagavan Krishna would be the charioteer and advisor of the brave Arjuna until the end of the great Mahabharata war. It was very loud due to the war cries of soldiers, neighing of horses, trumpeting of elephants, and the blaring of conch shells. The two battalions were arrayed, ready to start the battle. Arjuna requested Bhagavan Sri Krishna to position their chariots between the two armies so that he could take a better look at the enemy army. Arjuna was deeply saddened to see on both sides his cousins, uncles, teachers, other relatives, and comrades. Arjuna was confused and bewildered. He wondered if the war was worth it at all. The strong mind of the valiant Arjuna weakened, and he started to think if it would be better for him to give up the war, surrender before his opponents, and walk away in peace. Depression, despair, and grief took control of him. He did not want to fight. His hands trembled and his bow slipped from his hand. He was despondent and he sat down on the seat of his chariot. His mind was shattered and a feeling of dejection sapped him. He felt miserable and his mind was drowned in sorrow. This dejection and despondency led Arjuna to approach the Supreme Bhagavan Krishna. He surrendered before the Supreme Bhagavan as a devout pupil would do before his teacher and acquired this great divine knowledge. The SRIMAD BHAGAVAD GITA begins with Dhritarashtra's question to Sanjaya. It is worth noting that the first word of the great scripture is dharma, as in Shloka 1 of chapter 1, dharma kshetri kurukshetre, and the sound mama in matir mama in Shloka 78 of chapter 18 could be placed together to form the phrase dharma mama or mama dharma, which means my duty. It is the duty and responsibility of everyone to live a life of righteousness. Following the divine teachings of Bhagavan Krishna is a sure way to achieve this noble objective. Krishnam Mande Jagadgurum. Let us begin with chapter 1. The SRIMAD BHAGAVAD GITA, chapter 1, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the despondency of Arjuna. Dhritarashtra said, "Gathered on the holy plain of Kurukshetra, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu, who are ready to fight, do, O Sanjaya?" Sanjaya said, "After having seen the army of the sons of Pandu arrayed, King Duryodhana then approached the teacher Dronacharya and said these words, 'Look, O my teacher, look at this vast army of the sons of Pandu, arranged by your gifted disciple, the son of Drupada. Here in this army are mighty bowed heroes who are the equals of Bhima and Arjuna, and great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virata, and Drupada. There are also great heroic powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chaitanya, Kashiraja, Purujit, Kuntibhoja, and Shaibya. Here are the powerful Yudhamanyu, the valiant Uttamojas, the son of Subhadra, and the sons of Draupadi, and all these mighty warriors. You should know, O best of the twice born, those leaders of my army who are distinguished amongst us. I shall name them for your information. Yourself, Bhishma, Karna, and Kripa, the winner of battles, Ashwatthama, Vikarna, and also the son of Somadatta. There are also many other heroes there, those who are determined to give up their lives for my sake. All of them are armed with different kinds of weapons, and they are all experts in warfare. That army of ours protected by Bhishma is limitless, but the army of theirs protected by Bhima is limited. Therefore, all of you positioned in your respective strategic points have to offer your full support to Bhishma. Then, gladdening Duryodhana's heart, Bhishma, the powerful grandsire of the Kurus, blew his conch shell that thundered like the roar of a lion. Then all of a sudden, conch shells, kettle drums, trumpets, drums and horns blared, and the sound made by them was fierce. Then seated in a great chariot, which was drawn by white horses, Madhava, or Bhagavan Krishna, and also Arjuna, the son of Pandu, blew their celestial conch shells. Hrishikesha, or Bhagavan Krishna, blew his conch shell Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his conch shell called Devadatta, and Bhima, the one of terrifying deeds, blew his conch shell called Poundram. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell called Anantavijaya, and Nakula and Sahadeva blew theirs called Sughosha and Manipushpaka, respectively. The mighty archer king of Kashi, the mighty warrior Shikhandi, Drushtadhyumna, Virata, the invincible Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and Subhadra's powerful armed son, all of them blew their respective conch shells. Those fierce roaring sounds made by the conch shells reverberated across the earth and the heavens and rent the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Then when Arjuna, with his flag bearing the image of Hanuman, saw the sons of Dhritarashtra lined up and prepared to fire their missiles, raised his bow and said to Bhagavan Krishna the following words: O Achyuta, please position my chariot between the two armies in order for me to see all those lined up seeking battle. I need to know who all I will have to fight in this great endeavor of war. I see that all my kinsmen are gathered here together, ready to fight, desirous of pleasing Duryodhana, the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O descendant of Bharata, being thus spoken to by Gurakesha or Arjuna, Bhagavan Krishna positioned the fine chariot in between the two armies in front of Bhishma, Drona and all the kings, and said to Arjuna, Look, O Partha, look at the Kurus assembled here. There among the two armies, Arjuna saw fathers as also grandsires, preceptors, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, associates, fathers-in-law, and also well-wishers. Seeing all his kinsmen assembled together, Arjuna, the son of Kunti, was overcome with great compassion and spoke as follows. Arjuna said, O Krishna, seeing my kinsmen and friends in a belligerent state of mind, my limbs are failing and my mouth is parched. My body is quivering and I have goose flesh. I feel that my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hands and my skin is burning. I am not able to stand and my mind is reeling. O Keshava, I see adverse omens. I see no good in killing my own folks in this battle. I do not desire victory, O Krishna, nor do I want a kingdom or comforts. Of what use is sovereignty to us, O Govinda, or pleasures, or even life itself? All those for whose sake we desire sovereignty, enjoyments and pleasures are gathered here, ready to give up their lives and wealth. There are teachers, fathers, sons and also grandsires, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law and other relatives too. I do not want to kill them, O Madhusudana, even if they should kill us, not even for the rulership of the three worlds and certainly not for the earth. What kind of joy would that be for us, O Janardana, by killing these sons of Dhritarashtra? We will be committing a sin by killing these warriors. Therefore we should not be killing the sons of Dhritarashtra who are our folks. How can we be happy, O Madhava, by killing our own people? Although these people whose minds are taken over by greed see no evil in destroying their family and sin in being hostile towards friends, why should we, O Janardana, knowing very well that destroying family is wrong, not stay away from sinning? With the destruction of the family traditions are lost, and when traditions are lost, the whole family engages in unrighteous acts. When unrighteousness becomes predominant, O Krishna, the women and the family become defiled. And when the women are defiled, unwanted offspring are born. Such unwanted population create hell for everyone, and they destroy family traditions. Ancestors of people from such fallen families are deprived of offerings made to departed souls. From the sins committed by destroyers of family values and traditions, family and community are destroyed. O Janardana, we have heard that people whose family traditions are destroyed are condemned to be in hell forever. Driven by greed for the pleasures of a kingdom, we are about to commit a terrible sin of killing our own people. It would be better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra killed me with weapons, while I stood unarmed and not resisting. Sanjaya said, speaking such words, Arjuna laid down his bow and arrows and sat on the seat of his chariot, totally despondent. End of chapter 1. The SRIMAD BHAGAVAD GITA, chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga, the yoga of analysis. Sanjaya said, to Arjuna, who is overcome with compassion, pity and sadness, and his eyes filled with tears, Bhagavan Krishna said as follows. The Supreme Lord said, O Arjuna, where in this hour of crisis did these qualities like weakness, which are unbecoming of honorable men, come from and take over you? Such qualities will prevent you from reaching higher levels in life and will also ruin your honor and get you a bad reputation. Do not give in to cowardice, which is not manly and does not suit you. Shed this weak-heartedness and get up, O destroyer of enemies. Arjuna said, O Madhusudana, how can I shoot arrows at Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? Instead of living at the cost of the lives of these noble elders, living a life of a beggar would be better. They may be greedy, but still they are my superiors. I will be enjoying wealth and power, but all that will be drenched with their blood. We do not know which would be better for us, conquering them or being conquered by them. Those people whom we should not desire to kill are gathered right before us. With my mind in a state of confusion regarding my duty and the feeling of helplessness because of my weakness, I ask you to tell me what is good for me. I am your disciple, and I have surrendered my soul to you. Please teach me.